After checking out the new 2022 Ford Bronco Raptor at the King of the Hammers event in Southern California and finding out the base price starts out at $70,000, it brought up two questions for us that we wanted to run by you guys. Number one, for $70,000, what exactly are we getting? And number two, is it really worth it? From a distance, as we approached the Bronco Raptor, not a whole lot stood out to us except, well, we could tell it was noticeably wider, and as we got closer, we could start to see some obvious upgrades. The first one being the overarching fender flares to cover the factory-installed 37-inch tires, which is awesome to see a 37-inch BFG KO2 stuffed on a little old Bronco from the factory, and helps give it almost 5 more inches of ground clearance for a total of 13.1 inches of ground clearance. Ford was definitely paying attention to the recommendations of us off-roading enthusiasts with the 37-inch tall rubber. But those fender flares, I mean, I get it. With the overall width being almost 10 inches wider, along with the track width being almost 8.5 inches wider, Ford had to do something to cover the BFGs to stay DOT compliant. But let's just say I'm hoping that Ford comes up with a better looking solution for the 2023 Bronco Raptors. I don't know, maybe a wide body kit or color matched fender flares or something like that. I mean, I don't know exactly what the solution is, but for 70 grand, it's gotta be something better looking than what's on there now. But anyways, behind the 37-inch BFGs and controlling them are Fox internal bypass coilover shocks with live action instant and automatic control of the dampening and rebound, and allows the B-Raptor up to 13 inches of suspension travel up front and 14 inches of travel in the rear. Enough to give you some extra cushioning upon landing when putting some air in between the tires and the ground. The new B-Raptor also gets upgraded and stronger front axle shafts, control arms, steering links, stronger, beefier rear axle, and a 3.06:1 transfer case over the 272:1 ratio on the other Broncos. Sending the unofficial 400 horsepower, because Ford hasn't released the exact numbers yet, to the drivetrain is not the 5-liter V8 most of us were hoping for, but instead it's a turboed 3-liter V6, the same engine that's in the Lincoln Navigator. But it's understandable. The name of the game here is to give it the best power to weight ratio possible. It also breathes out through a true dual exhaust, of which we weren't able to hear what it sounds like, so it'll definitely be interesting to hear exactly what it sounds like with dual exhaust off of a V6. Along with the extra horsepower and the additional strength added to the frame and internal roll cage to add torsional rigidity is an additional 1,000 pounds of towing capacity, along with a new tow haul mode to help keep the engine in peak pulling range while towing up to 4,500 pounds. Also optimizing the capabilities of the new B-Raptor is 7 different GOAT modes. The tow haul, then a rock crawling mode, slippery, a generic off-road mode, sport, normal, and exclusive to the Bronco Raptor is a Baja mode. To keep your body more planted in your seat while Bajaing through the Baja Desert, in Baja mode, are performance-oriented seats with about 20% more side bolstering capabilities. The steering wheel is also thicker to help with reducing that white knuckle effect, and plenty of Raptor accents and stitching throughout the interior. It also receives a new digital gauge cluster and the center 12-inch digital command center for the radio, HVAC, and a few other convenience features. On top of the dash, centered above the radio, are going to be your hero switches like what's found on the other Bronco packages, and control your hydraulic sway bar disconnect, which can be activated at higher speeds than the other trim levels. Then your front locker, rear locker, trail turn assist, traction control off, and the hazards switch. So obviously a lot of performance upgrades, along with a lot of Raptor exclusive aesthetics throughout the interior, and true to Raptor form, like what we see on the F-150 Raptor, is Ford spelt out on the custom grille and the 3 little amber LED lights. So then, now that we have a basic understanding of what all of the performance upgrades are, the next thing to figure out is all of that really worth it compared to the other Bronco trim levels when the Raptor has a starting base price of 70 grand? And guys, usually when a manufacturer or dealership says base price, That doesn't include destination fees for shipping the vehicle to the dealership, and obviously doesn't include taxes or registration fees. So without any additional factory upgrades on top of that, by the time we're done paying for destination, taxes, and registration fees, depending on where we live, we may be easily closer to that $75,000 mark for an out-the-door price on just a base Bronco Raptor. Now, me personally, not an effing chance, but that's just me. For others that have figured out that pipeline of cash flow somehow, well then yeah, I mean, it's a turnkey, jump in, go have fun pretty much wherever you want kind of toy, and it's not as big as the F-150 Raptor for those who don't want to run around in a near trophy truck size pickup truck. On the other hand, if you love working on vehicles and fabricating and don't give two sheets about the aesthetics and hype surrounding the Raptor name and badging, then a Bronco Sport with a starting base price of around 30 grand, not including destination tax or registration, of course, plus maybe an additional, 15 to 20 grand on top of that in additional upgrades would still put you plenty of money ahead and be able to achieve about the same amount of performance as the Bronco Raptor, or at least just about the same amount of fun, if not more, knowing you built it. I don't know, but that kind of high-end flashy stuff just doesn't get me excited enough to justify the cost of high-end, high-performance, factory-produced, off-road capable vehicles. But what about you guys? I'd be really interested in hearing back from all of you about what you think about the new Bronco Raptor. And would it be worth it to you to get all of the upgrades for the price? And guys, there's no wrong answer here. Just really curious to see what all of you guys think. Also guys, if you do end up building a Bronco Raptor instead of buying it, remember to keep us in mind when shopping for your new set of wheels and tires, like the 37-inch BFG KO2s we mentioned earlier, and we'll have a link in the description that brings you right over to our website at TrailBuilt Off-Road. And guys, as always, we appreciate all of you for watching and all of your support. I'm Josh from TrailBuilt, and we'll see you guys out on the trails.